I think the world is moving back towards relying on fossil fuel. The world will need more gas. Oman will rely on this business, I think, for a little bit longer than we thought.
We are a company that have not left any stone unturned. We're an example of the successful company in Oman and in the region, and we've gone from strength to strength. I think as a model, it's just one big success.
Oman is the oldest independent state in the Arab world. It has a rich history, culture and economy. But while its agriculture and even tourism sectors are still growing, the backbone of the country has been built on its flourishing energy sector. The Middle East has met most of the world's energy needs in recent decades, with Saudi, Qatar and the United Arab Emirates very much being seen as the region's heavyweights. But just southeast of these resource-rich countries lies Oman, the largest oil and natural gas producer in the Middle East that's not a member of OPEC. And with its new oil discoveries outweighing production, it's making a name for itself in the region and beyond. Located on the Arabian Peninsula, Oman's proximity to the Arabian Sea, Gulf of Oman and Persian Gulf granted access to some of the most important energy corridors in the world, enhancing its position in the global supply chain.
Oil and gas is taking more role in meeting the world energy needs. And with all these new sources of hydrocarbon, shale oil, shale gas, I think the world is moving back towards relying on fossil fuel, hydrocarbon particularly, because gas is clean, environmentally acceptable. The world will need more gas. Oman will rely on this business, I think, for a little bit longer than we thought. The business will be more active in the coming years, despite challenges.
Like many countries in the region, Oman is highly dependent on its hydrocarbon sector. According to the Oman Ministry of Finance, in 2012, Oman's hydrocarbon sector accounted for 86% of government revenues. The sector also accounted for around 40% of Oman's GDP. But the government is trying to diversify its economy away from oil, and that, in part, is where liquefied natural gas comes in.
Two things happened when we discovered large quantities of gas. We set goals that we want to diversify initially from oil, and we thought gas will play a big role, and we did succeed on that. We've been doing very well in making gas in general a serious industry in the country. Then the other decision we took was to create LNG business, to export gas. And that has done more than what we expected because almost 10% of our revenue in the country is through the LNG business.
The Omani government owns a major stake, 51%, in the country's leading natural gas exporter, Oman LNG. And with notable global backers such as Shell, Total, Korea LNG and Mitsubishi, the company is seen as a rising star in the region's energy market. Behind me you can see the headquarters for Oman LNG. Since its inauguration in 2000, the plant has grown to have a 3-train plant operation and a 10.4 million tonne per annum production capacity.
LNG is an energy or fuel of choice. It's the first, number one green fuel, if you like. It is flexible in its delivery. It is flexible to go on different destinations, and is growing, both supplier side and consumer side. You have countries which are not, traditionally they are not LNG consumers, like our neighbors in Kuwait, Dubai, Bahrain. These countries have got oil, but they are still want, or some of them already importing LNG. So you can see the consumer side is increasing. A lot of countries like India, China is booming in LNG. In Japan, after the nuclear disaster a few years ago, LNG has been replacing the nuclear in the country. And on the supplier side, we have now shale gas in US. Now US, instead of importing LNG, they are exporting LNG, and Europe is growing. So LNG is here to stay.
In 2013, Oman LNG and Kalhat LNG were combined in an effort to streamline the country's LNG sector. The new company, also called Oman LNG, now controls the country's export capacity.
Oman LNG started production in the year 2000, but it was formed in 1994. It has been a huge success. And after this success of Oman LNG, the government decided to build another train with a new company called Kalhat LNG, with its capacity half of Oman LNG. And after a few years also of being successful, then it was decided that we merge these two companies so we don't duplicate a lot of work because we're dealing with the same markets, from the same source, and almost same shareholders. So it was obvious that there are synergies between these two companies that we wanted to benefit from. So far we have already started reaping benefits in terms of value creation, savings from combining the two companies, and also showing one face of Oman to the LNG world.
That face is located 200 kilometres southeast of Muscat, in the small but vitally important city of Sur. The city has long been associated with sailing and shipbuilding, and it's here that Oman LNG has based its plant. Sur's heritage of welcoming visitors from across the seas makes it the perfect base for international industry.
Oman is friendly to all countries of the world, and we do business to as many as we can.